Hey, what's up? It's DJ. This is going to be part 2 of the news video that we did yesterday. There was just so much stuff, I had to make 2 videos. So then today we've got an update on the Lizard Colossus Harvesters pack, a huge list of mods waiting with Giants, and our first look at Carpathian Countryside for FS25. If you like staying updated with all the latest news in Farming Simulator, get subscribed. Let's go. Now let's jump over to Modern News, and we're going to start with Chris S. and Riley S. and their Lizard Colossus Harvesters pack. They have said that unfortunately they are still part of the pending team, and they've gotten tired of waiting. So they are starting to work on the next version of the mod, and they're adding a couple more things and tweaking a few things. It is still apparently waiting on the first round of testing and hasn't even started testing yet, at least as of earlier this morning. Also, you could tell from the screenshot, we've got a really cool textured camouflage style paint job on there. Super neat. I will say that they didn't say what the new things or tweaks would be, so we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we got a couple things from Custom Modding, and we're going to start with their John Deere S700 series combine harvester. They've released the spec list for this. Base price going to start you around $591,000, power between 333 and 543. In capacities from 10,600 up to 24,667. Models include the S760, 770, 80, and 90 with special features for each. Model years from 2017 up to 2021 and the 2022 model. Countries of USA, Canada, Brazil, and Austria, and we even have some nice tires from Goodyear LSWs, which we Blizzard. We also have regular Goodyears, Firestones, and Michelins. There's a whole lot coming with this one, and it is really nice to see Custom Modding bringing it back. They also have a handful of mods with Giants right now waiting testing, including the TigerMate 255 field cultivator, the John Deere 4940 self-propelled sprayer, which I'll have a video out soon on, as well as the 2150 early riser planters and the S700 series combine that we just talked about. They've also got a few mods in review as well. Get ready, because there's going to be a lot of custom modding mods dropping all at once, and I cannot wait. Next up, let's move along to MacTrucker921 and their flatbed service truck. This was a mod that we had in Farm Sim 22, and it is coming back. They say that the conversion has taken almost 4 days to do. They say as hard as it was in the process, they've learned a lot and finally figured out how to make the strobes work. That's great news. They're going to have some different colored ones, which is really, really neat. And as of the time of recording this video, it should already be with Giants waiting testing. Speaking of mods with Giants, they have a ton of them with Giants right now. You can see all of these are for Farming Simulator 25, and they are all pending testing right now. They have said, this was actually of January 15th, today's the 21st, that they had messaged Giants, and they said that as of the 15th, they were testing mods that were submitted on December the 5th. So a little ways back from that. So it's still going to be a little while before we see any of these, but it is really nice to see that they are with Giants waiting testing. Now all we got to do is wait. Hey, speaking of waiting, MacTrucker921 didn't have to wait very long to hit gold status with Giant software. They have just recently hit 25 million downloads on the Mod Hub. That is absolutely incredible. Huge congratulations to you, man. They actually gave me personally a shout out in their message talking about this, which I was not expecting at all. That's a huge honor to be put in any conversation with MacTrucker921, so I appreciate you, brother. Let's keep the conversation of mods with Giant software going, and we move over to Kazdan18, who has also shared a list of the mods that they have with Giants waiting right now. This was also from January the 15th, so 6 days ago. They got their Lizard car tow trailer, a couple Bachmann mods, Kroger AgriLiner PWO24, Lizard tow trailer 3, and MAN. Finally, be so nice to see some MAN trucks in the game. We have the Zader UR2 pack and the Scooter Buddies. Yeah, super excited for these. Kazdan18 is really one of those modders that kind of holds second to none when it comes into comparisons. They are just absolutely incredible at everything that they do. Not to fanboy it out, it's just a statement of fact. So I'm really excited to see these. If you're not familiar with Kazdan18, if you see any of their mods release, definitely go download them and give them a try. You're gonna love it. Another modder who is second to none when it comes to forestry mods is HR Forest, and we have not one, but 5 different mods to talk about from them today, all of which have been posted in the last 8 days. The first one is the Rottne H21D Steep Slope with the 7000C harvester header. Additionally, we'll have the traction winch on this, which is very, very cool, and they say they made some more changes, and the first impressions can be seen in the screenshots. Translations aside, it is really nice to see some more Rottne stuff coming out, especially from HR4s. They make really, really good mods, and really fun modifications to base game equipment as well. So seeing this one is great news. Secondly is the Lizard Forestry ADH18 harvester header. This goes on your excavators, and it is a big boy. It's going to be able to hold on to logs, make sure that you can cut them, and do everything that you need to do. This is not something that I would generally be using for myself because, well, I really don't do a whole lot of logging. Surprise, surprise. Nonetheless, this is going to be heading our way soon. If that's not enough, they have their tree shears. These were released in Farming Simulator 22, and they are coming back. You got the BS50, which goes up to 50 centimeter in diameter, and you also have the 90, which goes to 90 centimeters in diameter for larger excavators and for larger trees. Basically, you take these, they're shears. You grab a hold of the tree and you squeeze it, and it breaks it. It is like a harvester in the game, but still kind of cool and does it a little bit of a different way. Next to last is their Prinoth Leitwolf. Now, this has actually been a base game piece of equipment for a few games now. However, they say that it now has a proper 3-point suspension in the back of it, and the sign is detachable and comes in 2 versions. A standard version, which works like the base game. Sliding edge is always horizontal to the game. However, they have a pro version, which works as it does in real life with wings freely movable. If you push the slope, it also becomes pushed slope. I don't know what that means, but that's what they've said. They say, hopefully soon at your trusted dealer. Lastly, from HR Forest, we have their Prinoth Raptor pack. Now, we've got a couple different things in this pack. You're going to get the Raptor 300 itself. You also get the M650 mulch tiller and the M650 the machine mulch mill. The machine mulch mill, they say, with it, trees can easily be removed directly and error-free. So basically, this is a tree be gone, if you want to think about it like that. It's pretty sweet. They say also you can set it up to make lanes, which is really nice. So it kind of like creates a little field cultivator, makes it look like something that you can run through instead of having to use either, number one, a small cultivator, or number two, using something like painting. You can actually do it in the game. Makes it a little more realistic. I dig this. Next up, we have 2 things to talk about from JHHG Modding. The first one is going to be their John Deere DB120. This is a mod that will be for all platforms. It is their 48-row, 30-inch. They say it's the largest and most detailed planter in the history of Farming Simulator 22. I don't know if that's true or not, but they've definitely done an epic job, and it is coming back in a refreshed version, which is really nice with new standards. Unfortunately, I have no information for you guys, so if you want to jump over to Farm Sim 22, download it, check it out. I'm guessing you probably have the exact same experience in 25 as you do with 22. I know in 19 is a little bit laggy because it was just a little bit too much for that game to handle. 25, I think we'll be just fine. We also get to see their TerraClear TC100 rock picker again. This was something super duper cool. Basically, it's got this thing on the end where it goes down and grabs the rock and shoots it back up into the bucket. Now, in Farm Sim, that's not how it's going to work. There's just no way. The rocks are just all spread out. There's no one big rock in the field to go pick up. Maybe in Farm Sim 28, but not in Farm Sim 25. And yes, there's no way they're not going to do 28. 20th anniversary? Come on. We already know, baby. Let's go. Anyway, the TC100 rock picker for skid steers. They say it's already fully functional in the game. It will soon be available for all platforms on the Mod Hub. So we've also got a new brand coming as well. Oh, that's awesome. Something else awesome is great news from Miss Speno Modding and some information on their MacDon FlexDraper pack. Now, we've looked at this a little bit before, but we haven't got to see anything in the game. They say there's 5 sizes that are going to be coming along with it. We have the 40, 45, 50, 55, and the 61-foot versions. All of these are going to be available kind of like the ones in the base game, where you've got a header which can be attached. Well, I say header. The header can have the transport mode on it. I find this super easy, especially with larger headers. Smaller ones, not so bad, but the larger ones, yeah, it's definitely nice to have. Here's one of the more popular mods that we've seen as far as trailer mods of Farm Sim 19 and 22 coming back to Farm Sim 25, the Lizard Superior in-dump pack from Carl Farms. Now, because I took a week off from doing news videos, this information is about 11 days behind at this point, but I still wanted to make you guys aware of it. As of the 10th of January, which again, today's 21st, they were about 95% done with it. They say just some final cleanup stuff and then testing it and checking it all out. 560 design configurations across the mod. They do say it's planned for all platforms, so they're still working on it a little bit. Probably still now they're still working on it a little bit, but if you guys want to go back to the Farm Sim 22 version and check that out, I would imagine it's going to be fairly similar. Also, Carl Farms did have me do a early preview of that, so Carl, hey, if you're watching, happy to do another one for you, man. As for their Steiger Series, they say it's still in the early stages, around 20% converted from Farm Sim 22, so still a bit of work to do on that. However, it is happening, so that's always awesome to know. And lastly is their AFS Magnum series. They say they've added some additional configurations like window tint and cabin monitors. Still some more things that they want to do, but unfortunately separating certain in-game models is proving to be very difficult and tedious. So due to that, the progress has been stalled on this as well as their 715 Steiger. However, they are still working on it. Here's a cool mod that I never thought existed until, what was it, Farm Sim 17 or 19 when this came out? It's like Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or something like that. It was an awesome mod. This is the Riberi RS100RB from the SMI modding team. This is a loading wagon with a mower on the front of it. So you can do pretty much like 2 or 3 different things if you want to count windrowing, maybe. But you mow and it picks up what you've mowed and kicks it into the loading wagon. This is an absolutely epic starting piece of equipment for those of you that have maybe some sheep or some cattle, something like that, and you want to start with something small and easy. I think this is the way to go, dude. This is super cool. So it's got a 2.5 meter working width, 18 kilometer per hour max speed, which I'm not quite sure. I think that's maybe around 12 or 13 miles an hour. It holds either 34,000 or 35,500 liters, and it's going to cost you somewhere between 37,000 and 49,000 depending on customization. We don't know what these customization options will be as of yet. However, super cool to see it heading back our way. We got a few things from AW Modding. First is going to be the Skid Pro Jackhammer. That's right, we're going to be getting a jackhammer heading our way for skid steers, a mod, which is really nice to see. Stuff like this was locked behind a DLC in Farm Sim 22, but in Farm Sim 25, it is open to all. They say it's in the works, still some tweaks to be made, and then it will be ready to go. As you can see from the screenshots, it's, well, not quite attached, so that's one of the adjustments that need to be made. Also, we know that their H4000H, is the H4000? Hooklift Flatbed will be coming back as well. We don't really have a lot in the way of hooklift mods for Farm Sim 25. Would have expected to see a lot more by this point. Hey, maybe we'll get some soon, and hopefully that statement will be extinct by the time you guys are watching this. You never know. And we've also got a Skid Pro Attachments Bale Spear. Same brand as the Jackhammer, just a bale spike. Another bale spike for you guys. Next to last from Servertex, we have their transport trailer, the 19 meter and 25 meter, which as of January the 13th, 8 days ago, is with Giants for testing. At this point, it may take another month or so to get through. You never know how fast they're going to be moving through things, but nonetheless, it is happening. It is heading our way. May fail once or twice, but that's kind of what happens with mods. Nonetheless, keep an eye out for it. We talked about it a bunch of Farm Sim news, and there's nothing more to talk about. Let's just a waiting game. And lastly, today from Mr. Hector Mods, we have some map progress and information on Carpathian Countryside. Mr. Hector was able to make a lot of progress bringing the map over from 22 to 25 during the Christmas break. However, that was about a month ago at this point. He says he's moved all existing map stuff, related stuff, and adjusting it to all new options from the 22 version to 25. Now they're starting the process of replacing or improving old objects, adding some new locations, and improving existing locations on the map as a whole to make everything even better. He also says that this is probably going to be the most time-consuming part, so this may take a little while, but it's going to feel like a roller coaster going downhill after that. Once this is finished, the next step is going to be placeables, which is a category of its own for farm sale points, productions, overall productions, things like that, which will be another step to making new content that they're planning on doing. They're not doing anything simple or barely working to convert. They're making a complete overhaul of the map, optimizing it, and future-proofing everything. Mr. Hector always goes into massive detail. He's posted basically a whole thesis on what he's working on right now for Carpathian Countryside. So if you want to jump over to his fan page, link down below, you'll be able to see everything. And now you've seen everything that I missed while I was away last week when I was at Llama. And just like every episode of Farm Sim News, links to everything we talked about today, yesterday, and tomorrow can be found in the description. Well, not in this video, I guess. Remember, there's no release dates for mods. No one knows when any mod's going to be released. I wish I did, but I just don't. And if you like this video, you can check out the Farm Sim News playlist for all the latest news and top stories going on in the world of Farming Simulator. And with that, we are all caught up and ready to go back for a normal video tomorrow. And that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like, get subscribed if you're new, and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check your notification bell. That way, next time I release a news video, you're the first one to know about it. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you later. Peace. Buddy, it took a lot to get through all of that. Oh yeah, by the way, did you notice I didn't do a script for this one? Woohoo.